Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of Hashtag Mentoras sponsored by Lawyer. Today, again, we have the Advocate Rakesh Tiwari, sir. Thank you again for conducting two webinars in as many days, sir. We're very glad to have you on board again. Today's topic for Hashtag Mentoras is copyrightable or not, an overview of copyrights and their protection under Indian law. For those of you who weren't with us yesterday, Rakesh Tiwari sir also had given us a talk on designs yesterday and a brief introduction about Rakesh Tiwari sir. He's been a practicing advocate for more than 10 years. He's an advocate at Lalji Associates and he's a lawyer specializing in trademark, copyright, design, patent, geographical indications, and due diligence for IP rights of corporate and enforcement of IP rights. So thank you very much for joining us again, and very glad to have you on board for a second day in a row. Just before we begin, we'd like I say with all the webinars, we'd only like to hear the speaker and not everyone else. So I request everyone to have them to put themselves on mute. If you do have questions, we would be happy to answer them at the end of the webinar. Please just drop your questions into the chat box. You can send them to me. And thirdly, please do not forget to fill out your attendance sheet. If you don't fill out your attendance sheet, you will not be marked for this webinar and you will not subsequently get your certificates. Thank you, sir. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Samir, for inviting me for a very important topic, copyright laws. Dear friends, Indian copyright law is at parity with the international standard as contained in trade-related aspect of intellectual property rights, which calls TRIPS. The Indian Copyright Act 1957, pursuant to the amendments in 1999 and 2002 and thereafter in 2012, fully reflects the Berne Convention of Protection of Liberty in Artistic Work, 1886. The Universal Copyrights Convention, to which India is a party. India is also a party to a Geneva Convention for the protection of rights of producer for phonograms and is an active member of the World Intellectual Property Organization and United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, which we call. The Copyright Act 1957, supported by the rules 2013, is the governing law for copyright protection in India. Copyright law protects expression of ideas rather than ideas of themselves. Generally, if we talk about what is the duration of copyright, the copyright duration is, in case of original literary and dramatic, musical and artistic work, the duration of copyright is lifetime of author or artist and 60 years of counted from the years following the death of authors. In case of cinematography, films or sound recording, posthumous publication, anonymous, pseudonymous publication, works of government and work of international organization are protected for a period of 60 years, which is counted from the year following the date of publication. And work protected in India is under Copyright Act. The term work includes artistic work comprising of painting, sculptures, drawing, including diagram, map, chart of or plan, engraving, photographs, work of architecture, architect craftsmanship, dramatic work, literary work, including computer program, tables, compilation, computer database. Musical work includes music as well as graphical and notations, sound recording and cinematography films. In order to keep pace with the global requirement of harmonization, the Copyright Act 1957 has brought the copyright law in India in line with the development in the information technology industries, whether it is in the field of satellite broadcasting or computer software or digital technology. The amended law has been made provision to protect performance right as envisaged in the Rome Convention. Section 14 of the Copyright Act deals about what do you mean by copyright, and copyright means exclusive right subject to provision of this act to do or authorized to do any acts in respect of the work mentioned in clause A to E of section 14 of Copyright Act. Now, the why the copyright important and what is the procedure and why copyright protection is requirement. So copyright subsists in original literary, dramatic, musical and artistic work, cinematograph, film, sound recording. The authors of copyright in aforesaid work enjoy economic rights under Section 14 of the Act. Section 57 of the Act defines two basic moral rights of author. These are the right of paternity and right of integrity. A right of paternity refers to a right of an author to claim authorship of work or right to prevail all others from claiming authorship of his work. The right of integrity is the right of integrity empowers the author to prevent distortion, mutilation, other alteration of his work, any other action in relation to the said work which would be prejudicial to his honor or reputation. Now, copyright. Now we'll talk about the copyright registration and its benefit. Why should the holders of original work go in for copyright registration? And there are some reasons. I'll let you know. Why should the holders of original work go in the copyright registration? No, activities like writing a book, making a movie, or creating a song, or writing a book needed a lot of energy and resources. A writer can spend years on one book. Movie maker may spend crores of rupees to come out with a single hit films. So if someone decided to copy a novel or make a movie of a copy of the original, it could cut into the sales of unique products and lead the losses of original creative. The individual then seeks the recourses of law to protect their original work from getting copied and getting a copyright registration. Why it is important? What is the benefit of registration? First is prevention of monetary loss. There are many advantages of copyright registration for authors of original work. One of the biggest benefit of copyright registration is preventing losses arising from copies being made original work. Violation of copyright registration is commonly known as piracy. In India, all of us are familiar with the words pirated books, DVD, music, videos, commonly available on the streets of most of major cities. Not only one are these shortly produced, but they also lead to enormous losses to publisher, authors. Movies and software are also illegally downloaded and shared through peer sharing network. Second is legal protection. There are other benefits that copyright registration gives under the law. The act of registration gives shelter to a published work. Without such registration, it becomes difficult to prove the case of owner in a court. For example, if a film producer may make a movie that is similar to one of that earlier, but without copyright registration, it won't be easy to produce to prove that it was plagiarized in court, and onus is on the creator to prove authenticity, whether he is the creator, original creator of the work or not. Preemptive measures. Another one of the benefit of copyright is that registration is on record so that it dissuades others from making unauthorized use of your work. If you discover that someone is copying your work, you can send a cease and desist notice, so you don't have to bother about legal proceeding at later stage. These save a lot of time and money. And another important benefit is incentive to creates. Perhaps one of the biggest benefit of copyright law is that it's foster an atmosphere of creativity and innovation. For example, an information technology company can spend millions of developing new software. It will do so in expectation of making money, and copyright law ensure that it can reap the benefit. Similarly, music companies can create a new music without worrying about it being copied and distributed without consent. So it is a very important aspect of copyright registration. And another benefit is protecting reputation. Suppose by protecting original work, copyright registration ensure that reputation of their creator, authors is a protected. For example, a music composer and author is in position to prevent shoddy copies of his or her work, preventing any loss of reputation. because every book on movies known by the by in the name of directors or the name of writers. Second is no, another important aspect is benefit is that is prestige. Copyright protection is it gives holder the prestige that a certain works belongs to him or her. No, there are certain procedure in Copyright Act that is the copyright owner has right to give license for commercial gain, and thereafter there is a procedure to if anyone have any grievances against the registration of that copyright, if if anyone want to cancel that registration, they may file a petition before the Intellectual Property Appellate Board as per section 50 of the Copyright Act, and that is called rectification of register by appellate board. Section 50 says the appellate board on application for registrar of copyright of any aggrieved shall order of rectification of the registrar of copyright by making of any entry wrongly omitted to be made in the register, or expunging of any entry wrongly made in the remaining on the register, the correction of any error defect into the register, that is it is wrongly registered uh, because of because of any reason whatsoever, we have to mention on such a petition, in such a petition, that this copyright is wrongly remaining registered, is wrongly registered, so it can be rectified as per the section 50 of the Copyright Act. Now, section 11 of copyright rules, now it is now no, there is no role of 1958 because there are there are copyright rules 2013 is in force. So as of now the procedures followed by copyright rules 2013. Now we will talk about infringement of copyright when a copyright infringes. uh, Section 51 says when a copyright infringes, copyright in a work shall be deemed to be infringed when any person without a license granted by owner of the copyright or the registrar of copyright under this act, or in contravention of the condition of license so granted, or any condition imposed by competent authority under this act, does anything exclusive right to do which is by this act conferred upon the owner of copyright, that permit a profit at any place of use or communication of the work public, all the without any authorization, makes any sale, hire, sale, any distribute that products. So it's called infringement of copyright. Section 52 of Copyright Act says that certain acts not to be infringed of copyright, because there are certain acts which is exempted from the purview of infringement of copyright. Uh, it say that fair dealing with any work not being a computer program for the purpose of private or personal use, including research or criticism or review whether of that work or any work, the reporting of current events, current affairs, including reporting of lecture delivered in public. The term fair dealing has not been defined in acts. It is legal doctrine, which allow a person to make a limited use of copyrighted work without permission of owner. Fair dealing is a limitation and exception to the exclusive right granted by the copyright law to the author of creative of the work. It permits reproduction or use of copyright work in a manner which, but for the exception carved out, would have amounted to infringement of copyright. It has thus been kept out the mischief of copyright law. The doctrine of fair dealing initially emanated as a doctrine of equity, which allowed the use of certain copyrightable work which would otherwise have been prohibited, would have been amounted to infringement of copyright. The main idea behind this doctrine is to prevent the stagnation of the growth of creativity for whose progress the law has been designed. With the passage of time, India has gone through the tremendous technology changes, but the still process of very limited scope in law of fair dealing. But if we look towards the West and European countries, Continuous advancement and through innovative interpretation and judicial activism have been introduced in this field. Online copyright issues is very important nowadays, because there are numbers of issues which are very important, because nowadays infringement of copyright through online is increasing day by day. And with a more and more technology advancement, the need of enforcement of a strong copyright laws and deals with complex internet piracy cases has been essential. And section 65 of Copyright Act says the new Copyright Amendment Act 2012 protects the owner of copyright material in case of breach. The amendment bound to deter several cyber criminals from misusing the copyright data. Section 65B of Copyright Amendment Act 2012 provides protection of right of management information. So now the question comes, because online copyright issues are very important, and question comes, is copyright applicable, extraterritorial application is applicable in copyright? Is extraterritorial application of copyright possible? It's a very important question which comes. So in case of Banyan Tree Holding versus Murali Krishna Reddy in Delhi High Court clarified that importance and scope of special jurisdiction of provision of Copyright Act. Section 62 of Copyright Act says that jurisdiction over matters arising under this chapter. What the section 62 says. Section 62 says every suit or other civil proceeding arising out under this chapter in respect of infringement of copyright in any work or infringement of any other right conferred by this act shall be instituted in district courts having jurisdiction. And what the subsection 2 says, for the purpose of subsection 1, a district court having jurisdiction shall not, withstanding anything contained in civil procedure code or any other law for time being enforced, include district court within local limits or whose jurisdiction at the timing of institution of the suit or other proceeding, the person instituting the suit or other proceeding, or where the more than one such person, any of one them actually voluntarily reside, a carriage on the business, personally work for gain. Section 62 says clearly address that infringement of right conferred by this act. The statutes typically spell out the scope of section 1. The Copyright Act reads as it extends whole of India. This means that right granted in India can be infringed only in India. The consequences of this is that section 62 subsection 2 confer power to institute a suit only in right holders place of residence or business, provided that there is a cause of action which arises in India. This provision is a departure from the traditional principle which requires a suit to be instituted at the defendant's place of business or where the cause of action has arisen inside the India. This explains non-obstinate clause of section 62 that notwithstanding anything contained in CPC. In other words, we can say section 62 is limited departure from the principle of governing jurisdiction only insofar as it's allow a right holder to institute a suit at the place of its residence or business, provided that right conferred under the Copyright Act has been infringed in India. Therefore, any attempt to apply section 62 to act which has been committed outside India would violate the territorial nature of the copyright law and go beyond the manifest scope of this Copyright Act 1957. So, in this way, there are different cases decided by Honorable High Court and as well Supreme Court that jurisdiction in case of online piracy, online infringement, or in case of any violation of any copyright holders, it can easily be dealt with by filing a suit for infringement of copyright before the court of law. So in this way, we have discussed about the importance of copyright, what is the copyright, and what is work, and why the copyright is important, and what is the importance of registration under Copyright Act, and why the copyright registration is necessary for the every creator who had created the work. So anyone have any question? Now I have concluded. Anyone have any question? They may ask. I will revert one by one.
Thank you very much, sir, for your in-depth analysis into the Copyright Act. Firstly, we have a couple of questions that have come in, and I'd like to remind everyone who haven't sent their questions in yet, please do so. Also, before we begin with the Q&A session, again, I'd like to remind everyone to please fill out the Google form, the link for the attendance, otherwise you will not be granted attendance. The first question comes in from Arman, who asks, can a copyright in a work be jointly owned? If so, what are the rights of the co-owner?
It can be, you can file an application as a joint applicant, and both have the same right. Joint application may be filed in case of copyright registration.
Okay. And there isn't any distinction between the owners? There isn't, they're both treated equally under the eyes of the law?
They both treated equally. If they want that, if anyone can get registered in his name or her name, and thereafter they may license to other. There is a procedure also. Either they may file a joint application, or anyone can get registration, and thereafter one can get license to other to use it for the limited purposes. It will depend on the person.
Thank you, sir. Rajat Gautam also asks, if someone is doing a cover of a song on YouTube, is that person required to take some permission before recording it?
Yes, if it the video is violates any right of any already video created by any composer or any writers, so it also violated the copyright of that creators. So before uploading the as of now, there is a procedure in YouTube that if you upload some infringe video, automatically they reject that this is copyrighted of that video. So you should avoid to copy the any copyrighted video, even though if it is not registered. Although there is a remedy, there is a passing of remedy, so it would be advisable that it should be new, and because if you copy of someone hard work, it is not fair. So you may face a kind of any kind of litigation if you violate rights of the right holders of copyright.
We have another question coming in at this point. How is Indian copyright law different from international copyright laws? What are some of the main differences that we have in our local regime versus the international regime?
Yeah, international registration is important as of now, because we have India is also signatory of WIPO and all other Madrid trips. So international registration is very important. By filing a one application, you will get the benefit of another the signatory countries of protections. But as far as Indian Copyright Act is concerned, it is only a territorial law which protects the violation of any rights which is registered in India in Indian laws. So as of now, if you want registration under international copyright registration, you may file an application under PCT, and other forum is available for registration of international copyright. But as far as Indian Copyright Act is concerned, it is totally territorial in nature.
Okay, it's only applicable to our. Okay, understood. We have another question coming in at this point from Gaurav Mehta, who asks, in copyright infringement cases, can people generally take a defense of inspiration? Or and in these instances, how does the prosecution deal with such a defense?
No, generally in this infringement of copyright, person defense is to take it as inspiration. It's a genuine region for educational purposes. There is exemption that if you are using it for personal use, you are not gaining any commercial. So it would not constitute infringement of copyright. But if you usage it for commercial use and you're gaining annually or monthly, so it's violates the right of copyright holders, so you cannot escape from your liability. So exemption defense can be raised by the wrongdoer, but it cannot be justified before the court of law.
So would that also work for the cover songs on YouTube? If you're using it for your own leisure and you're not really using it for a commercial purpose, even if you don't take permission, would that be an infringement of copyright?
No, if it should totally depend on the person who has created. Suppose I am the singer. My song, I have numbers of song, and my videos are also available in YouTube. And someone has copied my song, and I have no objection to that. It's okay. If someone is copied and enjoying that, right, it's okay. But if I have objection, I may file a suit against that person to stop to remove that
Broadcasting.
video from the portal.
Absolutely. Okay. Understood, sir. So the next question we have is from Ritika. At this point, we ask, can the moral rights in a copyright be transferred, assigned, or licensed to someone else?
Yes, no, it can be assignable, but there is some terms and condition which everyone has to follow.
Rajat Gautam asks again, are the handwritten notes of a teacher made under the employment of a school? Does the teacher hold the copyright over these notes or the school?
Because the teacher writes a copyright note under employment, so if it is the knowledge of the school, so it will totally the copyright of the school. But teacher can also get it registered in his name without the disclosing the facts that they have written it under the employment.
For
because
specific, yeah, sorry, sir, please continue.
uh, the thing is, if any employee creates any work under the employment, the owner will get the right of that copyrighted work. So if anyone writes after the after the duty period and after the working hour, and so they or he or may file a application for registration of copyright in his or her name. But if during the course of employment, if they creates or he creates or she creates, it would be the ultimately the uh, school owner or the owner and the employer will have the ownership of that copyright.
So I know that these terms are usually included in a employment contract when you're signing a
Yeah,
contract to join your first job. But
definitely.
what if, in instances when these clauses have been forgotten to be included in the contract, would the works made during work time or the creative works made during work time, would that still fall under the um, employees hold as a copyright holder, or would that be your personal work?
No, if there is no any agreement and there is no any justification that the person who are employee of that employer, so he can create a work and he can get it registered in his name. But if there is a procedure, if under there is an agreement of employer and employee, and there is a certain terms which has written that any things which created by the employee would be the artwork would be the creator of the employer, so it employer will have a right on that copyrighted work.
Thank you, sir. The next question coming in is, can any action be brought against secondary infringers, even if the secondary infringers are unaware that they are violating a copyright?
No, if they are unaware and if they comes under the exemption clause, they can be escaped. But if they are saying that they know they are not aware about the fact, but intentionally they are doing, they can be punished. Action can be brought against that wrongdoer.
Also, so for online streaming services, this is the next question. For online streaming services, how would they be affected by online copyright?
No,
Streaming
because
services like Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hotstar, stuff like that. How would they generally be affected by the copyright,
no,
online copyright?
all the videos which before releasing all movies and either release on Netflix or Amazon Prime, totally are protected under copyright acts. So before releasing, they get it registered, or even after releasing, there is a procedure because it's a bundle of rights. Copyright is a bundle of rights. So in every segments, they will get it registered, and thereafter they release on these portals, Netflix or Amazon Prime and all those portals.
Thank you, sir. One of our few final questions. In your opinion, can copyright laws discourage creativity?
No, copyright laws does not discourage creativity, because if you are genuine creator, if you have a caliber to create something new, you will have option to get it registered in his or her name. But if you are intent to copy someone hard work, ultimately there is an act which prohibits to not to copy of anyone copyrighted work. So if you are the real if you have any ambitions, if you have any passion to write or to create something, you may get it, you may create it, get it registered in his her or no name. There is no any restriction at all. So if you are in the habit of copying the copyrighted work, so
Then
ultimately
it
the
will be
copyright
affected.
act will protect you.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, we have one of our another final questions coming in. This is from Muskan Narang, who asks, "What does by I think she means you. What do you mean by copyright is a bundle of rights?"
Copyright is why I'm saying that's because the copyright is it's a segment of intellectual property rights, which says that copyright is belongs to a different just suppose it's a literary, artistic, as well as cinematography, sound recording. So there is a different aspects. So if any writer writes a book, it is a literary work. Suppose if any trademark and it's a packaging, it's a artistic work. And if any music composer or any song which come under you know the sound recording, or any movies which comes under cinematography films, so there is a different categories. And although right is the creator has same right under the copyright act, but categories are different.
Okay, sir.
We may say that it's a part of intellectual property rights, as like trademarks act, copyright act, design act, geography indications act. So it is totally a complex, there are numbers of acts which comes under the intellectual property rights, and one of the major segment is Copyright Act 1957.
Thank you, sir. I hope, Muskan, that answers your question. Our final question is from Vibuka, who asks, "Are there any general or specific exceptions which can be relied upon as a defense to a claim of infringement?"
uh, Suppose defense is that if your bona fide user, fair use, if you are using for individual use, for educational purposes, for any research purposes, you are exempted. But you are if you are copying or any you are infringing for commercial gain, then you cannot take the benefit of exemption.
Thank you, sir. We have one more question from Rajat Gautam, who's just come in to ask, can you please briefly explain the concept of license under Copyright Act? I feel that this was explained earlier, but I think Mr. Rajat Gautam had missed it. So, sir, if you don't mind, could you run through it once again very briefly?
There is a procedure in the section and a rule, the trademark Copyright Act Rule 2013, which clearly explain the section Rule 10 to 20, that what is the procedure and how anyone can grant a license to a person for commercial gain. Suppose I'm the right holder of copyright. I can grant a license to licensee for certain terms and conditions. We may get it, we may execute an agreement, and that agreement should be filed before the Copyright Office, that in form of request, that someone is asking for license, and it may there is a prescribed procedure and there's a fee for that. uh, Everyone has to follow that procedure, and after the execution of that agreement, what is the terms and condition of that use of that copyrighted work, and what is the duration of that use. There is, if there is any time limit, because there is a restriction to use it for particular period of time. So in this way, you may file application before the Copyright Office, the Registrar of Copyright, as per the agreement, that owners is giving license to the licensee.
Thank you, sir. I think that brings us to the Rajat Gautam also says thank you very much. I think that brings us to the end of our webinar for today. Thank you very much, sir, for taking the time off for 2 days to conduct this series on design and copyrights. We really, really do value the time that you have taken out to provide this very informative webinar. Thank you to all our attendees who have joined. If you haven't filled the attendance form, please do so. Please join us again tomorrow at 5. We have another webinar on protect your investment, a rundown of patent laws in India with advocate RP Yadav. That will also be a very interesting topic, so please do join in. Thank you again, sir, from the whole lawyer team and myself for taking the time off. We really do appreciate this wonderful set of 2 webinars that you had put on for us.
Thank you,
very
Samir,
much,
and thank you all of you or your team for inviting me. Very important topic. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. See you again.
Bye-bye. Bye.
There's a small announcement that the participants have yet not filled the attendance form. So we are giving 1 more minute to this, and after this we'll be ending the meeting. So whoever has not filled it, please do so.